Good evening and welcome back. This is Jeff from Celtic Balls.
I'm Angie.
And today we want to kind of break it down a little bit. It's not more of a, we've been doing a lot of breeding videos, but we're going to break it down a little bit. Some people that are just getting into breeding, some of these terminologies or numbers we throw out might shock a lot, or not shock a lot of people, but confuse a lot of people like they did us when we got into it.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about what the heck. So let's start off with what a het is. Het is short for heterozygous, and each recessive gene, if you have a visual recessive gene, you have two heterozygous or two hets. So you have two into one animal, and that makes a visual recessive. So when you start talking hets and you look on Morph Market or you hear people talk, you're hearing these percentages. We go off at three numbers. Some people throw a fourth one in at 25%. We don't use a 25%. That's a possible het. It's a pos het. So let's start off with your 50% het. So, and when I say hets, when I'm talking about these percentages, your snake is either het or it's not het. It's not 50% of the snake has a het in it. It's your snake is either het or it's not het. These percentages go off of the parents and how they get these percentages. So we'll start off with the 50% het. So how to get a 50% het is if you have a 100% het breeding to a non-visual or a non-het animal snake. So all the offspring will be 50%. So when we say 50%, you're talking it's got a 50-50 chance of getting
Producing that visual.
Of getting that het gene into one of the hatchlings. So again, your snake either has the heterozygous or it doesn't. So that's your 50%. One of the parents would have been 100% heterozygous and had a 50% chance of throwing that heterozygous into a hatchling. So that's your 50%. And then you can go into the 66%, which is two 100% parents. The mom and dad, the dam and the sire, are both 100% heterozygous, which means they do have one copy of that recessive gene. So if we're talking pied, for example, a visual pied has two copies of the heterozygous or the pied gene. So the 100% hets have one copy of it. You'll need another copy to make a visual recessive. And then of course you have your visual recessives, which has two genes. Now if you breed, or two heterozygous of that recessive gene. So if you're talking, if you're breeding a visual, for example, pied to a normal, all the hatchlings will be 100% heterozygous or het for pied, which means all the hatchlings has one copy of the pied gene. So some of the recessives have some markers.
Pied markers.
Pied markers. On the normals, you have tracks down the belly. Almost looks like not dry erase. What's those markers? Sharpie
Like
markers.
Sharpies?
Like a Sharpie marker. And we can show you that. So we will show you a visual, we have some 66%, we have 50%, and then we could show you one that we don't know if she is pied, but she has some of the pied markers. If that makes sense. We don't know we know her parents were normal, but we don't know if they were het pied or not. So what do you want? You want to start with the visual?
We can do that.
And then work down. And we will be working primarily with the pieds today, just because we have each step in the pied. So we will start with a visual. I wish we could show Daniel.
But she's about ready to lay.
She's going to lay in a couple days, hopefully. She's looking good. Starting to go back to her hot spot and starting to nest in a little bit. So we will pull out Eru.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pull out Eru.
Over. Here.
Right. Nope. Right here. Nope, that's on you.
Over. Here.
Oh, she used to be over there, didn't she?
Yeah. I moved everybody.
You want to hold her?
I can hold her.
All right. So this is a very low white pied. She is pied. Some people call this 100% het pied, but also pieds, they have what we call a pied beard underneath their chin. It is almost like a 5 o'clock shadow, and she did come from 2 visual pieds, so we know she is a visual pied. So this is a visual pied, which means she has 2 copies of the pied gene in her, which are recessive genes. So, and to kind of go back with the numbers, if you pair a visual recessive pied to a visual recessive pied, each parent will throw 1 copy of the gene, so all the hatchlings will be visual pieds. Hopefully that makes sense. So if you have a visual pied, he or she will automatically throw 1 copy, which would produce your 100% het pieds if the other parent was not pied. Okay, so this is the this is the visual pied. We will get our 66%. Alright, this is Saoirse. This is our orange dream, and she is 66% het pied, which means both her parents were 100% het pieds. Now, she does not have pied markers, and I believe it's because the orange dream, she doesn't have a belly pattern like the normals do. Some other genes, you can see the tracking mark, but with her being, I guess she's got a little bit.
Little?
Yeah, just a little bit. If you could see, it's kind of hard to see on there. But she's got a little bit of tracking up the side. So there's a good possibility, a 66% chance that she carries the pied marker, or the pied gene, I'm sorry. So it doesn't mean 66% of her is pied. It means she has a 66% chance of having the 1 copy of the pied gene. Okay. Now we will go to our 50%. So this is Bridget. She is a banana phantom, and she is 50% het pied or het four-pied, which means one of her parents was a 100% had one copy of the pied gene. So out of a clutch of 6, 3 of them should have got the pied gene, and the other 3 did not, which would make it 50%. And I guess we went from visual to 66%. I will show you a 100%. He's not breathing, is he?
No.
Okay, so this is Ronan. He is the sire to Bridget, the last one we just saw. So he is 100% het for piebald, which means he carries the one copy. Now, if we put him to a visual, I don't know what the percentages are, but they can produce a visual piebald, which he went to a non-het girl, which produced Bridget, which made their hatchlings 50%. So he automatically has one copy of it. We just need one more copy for the visual. And he is being paired to a visual pied this year. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some banana pieds. Second part of this is, let's talk why you want to buy hets or why you don't want to buy hets. Now, we went through the 50%. I'm sorry, do you want to show a possible het with Neve showing the pied markers?
Yeah.
Okay, so Neve is a normal. We know her parentage is a normal to a normal, but we don't know. We know one was not a visual pied, but we believe the mom or dad had one of the het genes. And when we're talking about that pied markers, you can really see it on her. Actually, you can see it from here. So if you see those black tracks, the black Sharpie marks, that is a good marker for a piebald. So we call her possible. There's a possibility that she carries the gene. Now, she could be 100%. Like I said earlier, 100% or nothing. So, but we believe she's at least possible. So when we breed her out, we will breed her to a visual pied to see if we can create some visual pieds. Okay. Do you want to kind of explain why to buy a pied pricing wise?
Pricing wise, the visuals are always, I shouldn't say always, but I would say probably 99% of the time are going to cost you more because you're buying that animal already produced that you want visually. Hets are always a good investment for people who want to do the long-term projects, people who want to get into a project that don't want to spend or don't have the money to spend for those visuals.
So like Angie was saying, you're taking a chance unless you buy a 100% het. You're taking a chance of buying a snake that has a het or does not have a het. Even if you put a 100% het to a visual that doesn't make all your hatchlings visuals. The only way you're to get your hatchlings to be all visuals is doing a visual to a visual, because both parents are throwing one gene apiece to make the two genes. So it's cheaper to buy hets. It depends on what recessive that you're working with. The double het desert ghost clown, even the hets are going for a pretty penny. The females, that is. The males you can get for $100, $150, $200. If you bought a visual desert ghost clown, you're talking $10, $12, possibly even $14,000 per snake. It will be both visualed in that recessive, or you can buy, what we did is we bought a pair. We bought a female pastel 100% het desert ghost, 100% het clown. So we bought one female and one male. So with these, the best that we can do is a super pastel desert ghost clown. And you're talking 14 upwards thousands of dollars per hatchling if you hit that. So there's if you're getting into it, you don't have a lot of money, you can buy the hets to make these. It's a long-term project, but you have the possibility to make these. Or if you're quick on the draw, you want the immediate result. You don't want to work the project. You're looking for your visual, wallet. You're looking for the visual to sell off to make money. We're not in it to make money. Will we make some money? Yes. But as a snake breeder, you're going to make a little bit of money. But we would rather work the project, put our spin on the project, instead of going out and buying something
else's idea
that someone already made. And there's people out there, people that are just getting into the business. They go out and buy visual everything. I'm not doing it by hets. I'm only doing it by visuals. Okay, that's fine. That's you guys. Us, we like the projects. So Angie has our female, or our male.
I have the male.
And here is our female. And these are both, like I said, pastel. 100% het desert ghost, 100% het clown. And they are brother and sister, but you can breed them back together. So I say if we hit the odds on these and we get a super pastel desert ghost clown, the hatchlings can go $14,000 and up $1,000. Now, we bought two of them, a male and a female, and we don't like to throw prices around. We're not into that. But I'm going to tell you, we bought the male and the female for $1,400. They both carry the Desert Ghost and Clown gene. They both carry one copy of it. So it's up to you how you guys want to work the project. And it really, like I said earlier, it depends on the recessive that you're working out with. Some of the recessives are more than the other ones. Just a pied recessive, it doesn't cost you that much, but the value is staying even. Mm-hmm. Clown, just a normal clown, doesn't cost you that much, but the value is staying even. Some of the newer, your ultra males that have other genes into it, your desert ghosts, your sunsets, there's so many recessives out there. Some of the recessives do have a higher value right now. Will they go down? Yes, the more that it's made, they will drop down. And if they are like the pied and the clown, they'll even out. So this is why we buy hets. it's up to everybody if you want to go into the het project or if you want to go visual. You know, I kind of told you why we do the hets. It's, to us, we like to work the projects.
We do. We love creating our own.
We do love creating
spin on
our own.
things.
But we bought our clown male. He's visual. He was a hatchling when we bought him. We bought a pied female. Both pied females we bought visual as hatchlings or subadults. We're working the ultra male project. Both of them we bought visual. But we do have a black pastel het ultra male, 100% het ultra male, that she will be worked into the project. So it all depends. We like to buy hatchlings no matter what, whether they're a recessive gene or just a normal gene. We like purchasing hatchlings. We like to build our projects from the hatchlings. Yes, it might take 2 or 3 years to get a clutch out of them, but we're okay with that.
That's more time we get with our babies, getting to know them getting to know us, and us learning all the little intricacies that they bring to the table.
Right. And we can purchase, you know, say we buy a female as a hatchling, and in a couple years we're like, well, let's throw this gene into it. Let's see what this, and you can buy a hatchling, and within another year, you know, that male should be ready to breed. So it's just I don't want to say quick because we've been on 20 minutes, but we wanted to kind of break down the hets for you of what the numbers mean. So you're not confused anymore every time you see a 50%, 66%, 100%. A little bit about the pricing with visuals to the hets. The hets that we sell, we've sold some 50% hets this last year. We don't charge any extra for that 50%. Some people might throw on a few extra dollars. 66% we might throw on a few extra dollars. 100% you can see a little bit of a price change because we know for a fact that hatchling has one copy of the recessive gene. So just kind of a
brief overview
about hets and pricing of the hets and what the numbers mean. I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope we didn't bore you. What will we be doing, Miss Donahue?
We'll be here doing what we love and loving what we do.
Good night.